It's challenge time. Oh god, so not again. Why not? The last challenges were nice. Maybe because it wasn't Oikawa who was giving them. The betrayal. Speaking of, how's your sleeping, Kunimi? It's much better, thank you. The doctor you recommended is great. Okay, that's good to hear. Why is it always me doing the challenges? Because Mad Dog is too stubborn to do this one. Oh no, now I'm getting scared. Speaking of dogs, how's Bruno? He's such a sweetheart, and I don't think I've seen Ken as happy as now when they play together. Aw, you got a puppy? Why didn't I get any pics yet? Ken got us a dog because of what happened recently. I'll send you some photos after this. Great. Hey, finally you included me. I thought you forgot about me. We didn't. Enoshita already did a few with us. What? When? The note and I can't sleep. Oh, those were challenges? Why didn't he say anything? Probably wanted to enjoy your genuine reaction. Hello? Tsutamu, my boy. Welcome to hell. Oh, thank you. Alright, now that we are all here, let's get to the reason I added you. I have a challenge for you. And before you protest, I promise this one is nice. No hurting your boyfriends, I swear. I find that hard to believe, but go on. Okay, so the challenge is to sit on your partner's lap when he's busy and wait for his reaction. So you want to annoy Iwaizumi without getting into trouble. How dare you? My intentions are pure. I just want to show Hajime I love him. And I want attention. Here it is. I'm not sure about this. Eita hates when someone disrupts him when he practices or works. If that someone isn't you, did you forget how whipped Semi-Semi is for you? Don't call him that. But Tendo-san is right. Thank you, Tsutomu. Careful with those hearts or Kogane will come for you. He doesn't seem like it, but he can be scary when he wants to. That giant child? Really? Yamagata-san, that's my boyfriend you're talking about. I don't mean it in a bad way. And besides, he's not wrong. It's funny to watch him in matches. Hello, can we get back to the challenge, please? Yeah, right. I'm in. I don't think Nobu will mind me sitting on his lap while he works. I'm in too. We do that all the time anyway, though usually the other way around. I know, that's why I added you and not Maki. I'm in too. Daichi needs some more love. How's he doing after that freak accident of yours? And the proposal. You proposed? That's so sweet. Why don't I know about it? Because you don't read the chat. He's better. Still getting into that guilty, so destructive mindset sometimes, but we are working on it. Good, good. Take care of my other child. Also, I'm in. Toshi is flying over for vacation, so it's quite convenient. I'm also in before everyone forgets me again. Chika has been acting weirdly recently, so more love can't hurt. I hope. I'm still not sure about it. I don't want Eita to get mad at me. Oh, come on. I'm also risking getting shoved on the ground, and do you see me hesitating? I'm in. Fine. But if he gets pissed, I'm blaming you. I'm also in. Me too. I like this idea. Alright. No, agreeing this fast? What's changed? Nothing. I just think that after the last challenge, you won't mind me sitting on his lap. Okay. Not that we weren't telling you that from the beginning, but good on you for finally seeing it too. I would be quiet if I were you. Remember our second year? Okay, I'm quiet. What happened in the second year? Nothing. Anyways, go forth, my darlings. Enjoy. Now that Kyouhaba knew what the challenge was about, he understood why Oikawa chose him for it. Of course, he would much rather not be the one doing challenges for once, but he supposed he could make an exception this time. He wasn't hiding the fact he got clingy since the attack, and besides, Kyotani gave the best hugs he could wish for. And most importantly, he was always ready to provide snuggles, attention, and comfort Kyouhaba needed, no matter the time or place. And Kyouhaba couldn't even start to express how grateful he was for having Kyotani in his life. We are lucky to have him, huh? Bruno huffed quietly, sitting patiently next to him and apparently waiting for any scraps of meat to fall on the floor. Chuckling, Kyouhaba gave him a few pieces, a pleasant warmth spreading through his chest when the pup nudged his hand for more pets. Kyotani was right in his assumption about getting a dog. He really felt much safer now that Bruno was with him, both at home and outside. He had something to cuddle to when he got anxious, and on top of that, Bruno proved to be a born guardian, watching and growling lowly at anyone who could pose a threat to his owner. The only time he felt safer was when Bruno and Kyotani were with him. What's your other dad doing now anyway? Bruno barked, wagging his tail as he trotted towards the door to Kyotani's makeshift home gym, and Kyouhaba smiled. Good boy, thank you. He scratched the dog's head and leaned closer to him for a conspiratory whisper. What do you say we go surprise your dad a bit? Bruno huffed as in agreement. Kyouhaba patted his head one more time and then knocked on the door. Yeah? Can I come in? He heard sounds of some of the gym equipment being laid down. I told you you don't have to ask to come in here. It's not locked. Kyouhaba smiled, his heart fluttering. He opened the door, revealing slightly sweaty Kyotani sitting on one of the benches and wiping his face with a towel. The sight made Kyouhaba's heart beat faster, if only from the simple admiration for his boyfriend's physique. Bruno didn't seem to have the same problem and swiftly slid around Kyouhaba's legs to head straight for Kyotani's pets, much to their amusement. I just didn't want to distract you in case you were doing something difficult. You are underestimating my mind, love. I can very well focus on you and exercise at the same time. Kyouhaba's cheeks heated up as always when Kyotani called him love, no matter how many times he had heard it already. He ran his thumb over the silver ring on his finger, reminding himself he had enough time to get used to it. Or maybe he could keep blushing like a love-struck teenager, since Kyotani let himself be heard before he loved to make him blush. Jige. The gruff voice snapped Kyouhaba out of his thoughts, the sight of the two loves of his life playing together making him all mushy inside. It's nothing. I was just thinking how lucky I am, you know? Kyotani cocked his eyebrow, reaching for Kyouhaba's hand to pull him on his lap. Kyouhaba smiled, glad that the first part of the challenge was so easy, and wrapped his arms around Kyotani's neck. He leaned into the touch when Kyotani caressed his cheek, soft smiles tugging on both of their mouths. I should be saying that. I wouldn't be where I am now without you. You would get there eventually. Shaking his head, Kyotani pulled him closer, and Kyouhaba could about melt in the embrace. I doubt that. If you didn't kick some sense into me in high school, I wouldn't be able to fit in with the team and probably wouldn't get drafted. So I think I'm the lucky one here. You are just stuck with a grumpy guy. How fortunate that I love that grumpy guy then. Very fortunate. Bruno barked in response, and they both laughed, simultaneously reaching to pat his head. The betrayal. And here I thought Bruno likes me more. He likes both of us equally like a good child, right? Bruno barked. I see. I'm glad you two get along so well. He looked back at Kyouhaba, his eyes softening. You seem much more relaxed than before, and much happier too. Kyouhaba smiled and leaned in for a short kiss. I am, now that I have both of you taking care of me. He became serious again, leaning his forehead against Kyotani's. It was a habit he picked up in the last months whenever he needed to calm down or just feel closer to his boyfriend. I'm glad you are with me. I know you doubted yourself in the past about us and relationships, but you are the best thing that happened to me in my whole life. And I can't thank you enough. Humming as if deep in thought, Kyotani pushed a bit forward to connect their lips again. You're thanking me enough every day. Though maybe you could thank me by finishing that meal you were preparing? I'll finish here in a bit and come help you if you want. But I'm comfy now. Kyotani pouted. Shige. What? I bet you can exercise with me on your lap without problem. He gently poked Kyotani's arms, drooling inwardly over his boyfriend's muscles. You can take it as a special training with even more special weights. Kyotani sighed and shifted Kyouhaba in his arms to hold him more comfortably, gently rubbing his sides. I'm not finishing this now, am I? Nope. Tanaka wasn't sure if he should be excited about the challenge or disgruntled about the fact most of what was happening in their household was started as challenge. It didn't change much, of course. He still felt bad for the note since Enoshita really put some thought into expressing his feelings, challenge or not. But part of him was a bit hurt for being worried for no reason. Though Chika is acting weird these days, even in between the challenges. So what's that about? I didn't mess up anything except for the note, did I? He shook his head and returned to correcting posture of one of his new clients, a man who used the opportunity to fill in the not so mysteriously freed up space in his schedule. Though I guess I should ask around a bit. Maybe Kinoshita or Narita will know what's going on. I just hope it's not something serious. The feeling of something being off only intensified in the evening when he arrived home and watched Enoshita preparing dinner for them. Since the moment he walked through the door about an hour ago, Enoshita seemed somewhat different, tense and almost nervous, as if he expected something to happen every passing second. Tanaka didn't want to push him too much, but the atmosphere was getting a bit too quiet and tense for his liking. What is it, Chika? What troubles you so much? And what did I do that you don't want to tell me? Ryu, could you taste this for me? Snapped out of his thoughts by the uncertain, soft voice, Tanaka got up and headed to the stove where Enoshita was apparently finishing with cooking. He instinctively wrapped his arm around Enoshita's waist, taking note of the sharper inhale and the little flinch running through his body. Not calming at all. Still, he tried to stay positive, smiling as he leaned over Enoshita's shoulder. Sure, gimme. Apparently calmer now, Enoshita offered him a spoon with some interestingly smelling sauce on it. It's hot, be careful. Tanaka smirked. I'm standing next to you. I'm used to hot stuff. Enoshita's cheeks turned adorably red, and it took all of Tanaka's willpower not to kiss him senseless there and then. That probably wouldn't end well given how jumpy he became lately. That was absolutely horrible. Do you flirt like this with everyone? Tanaka wanted to laugh, but something in Enoshita's voice made him pause. There was no other change to his boyfriend's expression or posture, but he was sure he didn't imagine the slightest strain in his voice at the end. He laid his chin on Enoshita's shoulder, squeezing his side. No, just with you, because I know you will love me no matter how rusty my flirting is. Enoshita raised his eyebrow. Rusty? You mean to tell me those horrible pickup lines you used in high school were your prime? We don't talk about high school, okay? That was a different time and a different me. Now I'm an expert. Not that I need it anymore when I have you. Enoshita's eyes widened a bit. He then smiled softly and leaned more into Tanaka's chest. Maybe you should practice a bit more. Who knows? He stopped before shaking his head, leaving Tanaka confused to say the least. Who knows what? He reached over Enoshita to turn off the stove and grabbed his hand, ignoring his protests as he pulled him to sit on his lap. The challenge was for him, but he couldn't care less at that moment. What are you doing? I need to finish it. We can't eat late like yesterday. He tried to get up, but Tanaka held him firmly in place. It's already finished, isn't it? Well, yeah, but... Then no protests and no excuses. He supported his words by pulling Enoshita closer to him, rendering it useless for him to try getting up again. What's wrong, Chica? Enoshita blinked and then lowered his gaze. Nothing is wrong. Why do you ask? You've been acting strange lately, and I don't know why. Is something troubling you? He cupped his cheek. You know you can tell me anything, right? Enoshita gave him a smile so obviously forced Tanaka had to stop his face from making a grimace. But before he could say anything, Enoshita suddenly relaxed again and wrapped his arms around his neck. Chica? It's fine. Nothing is wrong. But could we stay like this for a bit longer? Please? Smiling, Tanaka kissed him before nuzzling into the soft black hair. Sure, for as long as you want. Something was definitely wrong. Despite everything, Tanaka was more than sure of it now. But he didn't intend to leave it like that. Sighing, Shirabu flopped down on the couch and turned on the TV to have some background noise to think. While Oikawa wasn't wrong about the challenge being sweet, circumstances were a bit more complicated for them. Not only because Semi didn't like being interrupted when he composed, which was pretty much the only time except for cooking when Shirabu would call him busy, but also because right now, he was sure something was happening in Semi's head. Otherwise, he wouldn't lock himself in his music room. Shirabu understood Semi's need to focus and not have the flow of inspiration interrupted when he worked. He imagined that was what creative process was like with many artists and couldn't really get mad at him for getting cranky if he lost the thread. Not that Semi ever raised his voice at him in those moments, he was too kind to do that, but annoyance always almost seeped from him, and Shirabu would much rather not be on the receiving end of it again. Damn it, why does he have to be busy for this? He sighed again, his gaze straying towards the closed door of the music room from behind which he could hear the soft melody. Semi was working his ass off lately, working on the new album, but this time it wasn't like his usual composing session, which made things even more difficult. Another reason why this is a stupid idea. But despite that, or maybe because of that, Shirabu felt particularly touch-starved these days. He had a difficult week at the hospital, and now he just wanted to curl up in Semi's arms and not let go. And perhaps use his presence to relax Semi a bit too. He was fighting the urge for over 2 hours now, and his willpower was breaking. And while he wanted to give Semi all the space he needed, he couldn't stand the feeling any longer. He got up from the couch and headed for the music room, knocking gently on the door. The music stopped. Yeah? Shirabu bit his lip, already hearing the badly hidden annoyance in Semi's voice. Can I come in? For a while, silence was the only answer he got. He was just about to apologize and give up when the quiet click of the lock stopped him. He hesitantly pushed the door open, unsurprisingly finding Semi settled on the little couch he had there, the guitar still in his hands, together with a pen and note sheets. Do you need anything? Yeah, a hug. Are you busy right now? Semi raised his eyebrow, drumming his fingers into the guitar body while his gaze strayed to the papers. Quite a lot. Why? Shirabu inwardly cursed himself for both agreeing to the challenge and succumbing to the urge to get touched. It wasn't going to end well, he could already sense it. He avoided Semi's gaze, shuffling his foot on the floor. I was just wondering if I could stay here with you for a while. He hesitated for a beat before he walked closer and took the guitar out of Semi's hands. What are you? Sliding on Semi's lap, Shirabu could feel his cheeks prickling with heat as he laid his hands on Semi's shoulders. I want a hug. Please. Semi didn't move, just took a deep breath as if he was doing his hardest to stay calm. I'm really busy, Kenjiro. Can it wait for a while? Kenjiro? Ouch. Your while is anything from 10 minutes to 3 hours. Can't you take a break? Just a short one. No, I need to finish this. You know I can't ease up until it's done. But... Semi clenched his jaw. Kenjiro, I need to work. Shirabu flinched at the sharp undertone in Semi's usually so soothing voice and quickly got up, rushing out of the door without looking back. Sorry, I had no idea my presence bothers you so much. I'll be in the kitchen. Dinner will be soon. He closed the door before Semi could say anything and continued to the kitchen, his chest constricting. He should have known better. He did know better. So why was he so taken aback by Semi's response? Perhaps he shouldn't have believed Tendo's words. Even that little spark of hope stung like all hell when it got crushed. Stupid challenge. He blinked away the mist from his eyes, unsure whether he was more sad or upset. Probably a mix of both. Shaking his head, he started to prepare something to eat to busy himself and take his mind off of the glorious fail that just happened. Though judging by how fast his vision blurred again, he realized it wouldn't be that easy. Stupid challenge! Genji? He startled, almost dropping the knife he was holding. Yet, he didn't look up and continued to cut the vegetables, biting his lip to stop it from quivering. Done already? You have to wait, I just started this. Genji. You can go compose some more in the meantime. I'll call you when it's done. Though maybe not, huh? Wouldn't want to interrupt you again. His voice came out much snarkier than he intended, cracking a bit at the end. He cursed inwardly, damning his lack of self-control. A soft sigh sounded from behind him, and then Semi appeared in his peripheral vision. Genji, look at me, please. I need to finish this. Please. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you sad. I'm not. He turned his head away, well aware his eyes were at that giveaway of his lie. Sydney didn't let him, however, and turned his head back to him. I'm sorry, love. I didn't want it to sound like I don't want to be with you. I'll give you all the hugs you need, just... It was a challenge. Sammy paused. What was? Sitting on your lap and getting hugs. It was a challenge. His heart actually cracked when he saw Sammy's shoulders slumping. Oh. So you didn't actually want to be with me? Of course I did. No, just a challenge. Not everything is centered around you. What the fuck am I saying? He would never believe his own words could hurt him so much. And yet, here he was now, frozen in place by what just left his mouth and Sammy's broken expression, which he unsuccessfully tried to hide behind a weak smile. I see. I'll be in the room then if you need me. Shirabu watched his back as he headed back into the music room, his thoughts swirling wildly in his head, but not a single word from all those he wanted to say leaving his mouth. He would gladly smash his head into the counter. Damn it!